China's nightmare! The Three Gorges Dam is the world's largest hydroelectric dam. It provides an endless source of energy, but also has the potential to cause terrible disasters for people. Since the dam was built, the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River have had unpredictable weather every year, disasters happen often, and millions of people have been forced to flee their homes. When jobs don't have a future, there is a big social problem. It is getting harder and harder to control the Three Gorges Dam in China as more and more terrible weather happens. Is it a time bomb in a time when climate change is getting worse? Hello and welcome to today's video. We discuss about the horrifying secrets about the Three Gorges Dam, China's nightmare. But before we dive into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's delve in. It only took 90 years for China's officials to recognize that the Three Gorges Dam is a catastrophe. The State Council, led by Wen Jiabao, said that there were urgent problems affecting the relocation effort, the environment, and catastrophe prevention that would need an additional US $23 billion in addition to the $45 billion already spent. Despite high-level support for the project since Sun Yat-sen suggested it in 1919, the dam has long been criticized inside China. Dai Qing, one of China's first and most well-known environmental campaigners, wrote the book Yangtze in 1989, which investigated the technical and social consequences of the planned project. The book was well received by Tiananmen Square protesters, and Dai was imprisoned for a year for speaking the truth. When the dam was put to a vote at the National People's Congress in 1992, an unprecedented one-third of the delegates voted against it. The difficulties started to pile up after building began in 1994. The forcible transfer of 1.4 million Chinese was marred by corruption. Former Premier Zhu Rongji accused building firms of poor engineering, and few of the intended pollution control measures were implemented. The reservoir's water contamination has risen. In the last several years, Chinese authorities have admitted that the Three Gorges Dam project has caused an array of ecological ills, including more frequent landslides and pollution. And if preventive measures are not taken, there could be an environmental catastrophe. It is simple to claim that the State Council's acknowledgement came too late. The additional openness, however, is significant for at least two reasons. For starters, it helps environmentalists who have been lobbying against Beijing's ambitious plans for new large-scale hydropower facilities. Premier Wen, who has attempted to limit dam approvals in recent years, now has a little more firepower. Second, any admission by the party that errors have been made is a significant step toward giving the people the ability to challenge future decisions. Let us hope that more similar clarity follows. With its huge size, the Three Gorges Dam is the world's biggest hydroelectric plant. It also gives off a lot of energy, but also keep millions of Chinese people safe from flooding. The dream of many Chinese leaders down the years has been to tame the Yangtze River, also known as the Wild Yangtze River. China had a bad year in 1931. A snowstorm covered the mainland, and then ice melted and storms happened. It was 16 m above average for the water level in the Yangtze River. In 1954, floods killed almost 3.7 million people in the Nanjing area. In Wuhan, another flood killed 50 people. Hubertus Milquiles of the University of Applied Sciences said that Mao Zedong first thought about building a dam on the Yangtze River in 1958 in order to control the flow of the river through Three Gorges. According to Xinhua Commune, the Beijing government said that these plans were shelved because of problems with the cost of building them. In an article about the Three Gorges Dam as planning for the dam has gone on, the study says that a number of problems have become more clear. It will be easier to solve this problem after the dam is up and running. Some experts saw it, but they couldn't fix it well at the time because of the tools they had available. We didn't see the new problems that would come up because of the focus on economic growth at the dam either. The Three Gorges electricity project was mostly made to stop flooding, but it is now making flooding more likely. A lot of pressure is on both the upper and downstream parts. If not, water will fill the upper river. Both sides were hit by the flooding further downstream. Mr. Phan-USA was the chief architect of the Three Gorges Dam and a leading expert on irrigation. In his later years, he wrote a book called Dream of the Three Gorges, in which he talked about having a bad dream and being extradited to the International Court of Environmental Ecology, where he was questioned, charged, and finally given a sentence that said he was guilty of taking part in the crime. He was thrown out of mankind and onto the devil's way to hell, where he had to suffer unending pain in every form. As a top expert on irrigation, Mr. Phan-USA knew for sure what the pros and cons of the Three Gorges project were, reported up to 20 reasons why they thought it was wrong to build a dam. But they were later taught more and became the project's main expert. Because of pressure from the government, he built the Three Gorges project. It's clear that the bad effects were hard on his mental health. He wrote a book to try to ease some of the Three Gorges dream that followed, even though the dam did make money for the area. The people in charge of China need to keep working to fix the issues that the dam building has caused. This includes helping the people who have to move and protecting the environment in the area. Steps to avoid disasters. The building of dams has caused problems for transportation on waterways, water flow to the middle and lower Yangtze River, and the loss of waterways. China wants to fix these problems, using new techniques to damage the ecosystem. Biologists who wrote a study on the Three Gorges Dam also said that the above issue is not the only reason for environmental problems. In the area that was looked at, the area around the Yangtze River is home to about 500 million people. That being said, the water quality here isn't very good. There are still thousands of dams in the basin area that handle large amounts of water. This means that even if the Three Gorges Dam wasn't there, the environment in this basin area would still be in bad shape. This means that the Three Gorges Dam would have a huge effect just because of its size. But even if this dam were to come down, the Yangtze River could never return to its healthy environment. The leaders of Deng Xiaoping's government, like Jiang Zemin, who decided to build the Three Gorges project, did not think that there was a way to do that. There will be a disaster in a short amount of time. And the Kacho irrigation project, the Yichang City railway system, and the flood zones in the towns of Bailizhou Jingzhou branch that are downstream of the dam will be badly damaged. If the dam breaks, the flood peak's highest flow will hit 1 million to 2,370,000 cubic meters per second. The flood flow will rush to Cat Chao Irrigation Lake at 100 km/h, while the flow rate is still high. 310,000 ms of water will break through the Cat Chao Dam and flood Yichang. The flood is moving at 65 km/h, and after 4 to 5 hours, the water level in Yichang City will be 64 to 71 m above sea level. Yichang City's normal ground level is 0 to 50 m above sea level. If the floodwater level in Yichang City reached 64 to 71 m above sea level, the city would have submerged 20 m. What if the Three Gorges Dam broken? As you can see, the people of Yichang City didn't have much time to get away when the dam broke. This is because 30 minutes after the dam broke, floods reached the reservoir's total holding capacity of 39.3 billion cubic meters. In the worst cases, the Three Gorges Lake holds 39.3 billion cubic meters of water, which is the same amount of water that flows through the Yellow River in 1 year. What kind of disaster will happen if the Yellow River's water stores run out? For military plans, the area downstream of the Three Gorges Dam is always a battleground in a short amount of time. From the year of decline, we know that this is also the most important place for troops to be stationed to serve. It was between 1988 and 1989 that 100 airborne divisions, 45 Army Corps, 28 infantry divisions, and 20 armored divisions were stationed in the area. This is when the Strategic Reserve Team broke the Three Gorges Dam. A big part of the army was wiped out by the Three Gorges Dam flood, right before they went to war. The effects were terrible. A bow and arrow is one way to describe the business of mainland China. Once the disaster of the Three Gorges Dam collapse hits the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River, there will no longer be constant rain and floods that have caused the water level at the Tam Heap hydroelectric lake to drop over the past few years. Many people are afraid that the world's biggest dam will break soon because it has reached a frightening level. A lot of people think that if something goes wrong at the Three Gorges Dam, it will have a big impact on Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam. China has built hydropower dams in places like upstream of the Da River, the Red River, and the Low River so that they can store water when it rains a lot in the south of China. To all the men and women, the Three Gorges Dam was mostly built to stop flooding, but it is now making flooding more likely. A lot of pressure is on both the upper and downstream parts. The upper river will rise if water is not let out. If water is released, it will flood what's further downstream. As a result of flooding, both sides are harmed, which shows that the Three Gorges Dam is becoming more dangerous all the time. Conclusion: the Three Gorges Dam is China's nightmare, and very, very hard to prevent it from collapsing sooner or later, even broken itself. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and give it a like. Bye and have a nice day.